Yeah, so I'm continue the session of framework manager, different properties. Just you need to go to the same thing, framework manager. Click OK. We discussed up to evaluate automatically and edit governance settings. Today, I will explain you branching and merging concept and what do you mean by session parameters, what do you mean by log off and login, and what do you mean by transaction history and run scripts. Very easy things, but it may be differently. You may not use in the real time because this is the advanced levels. So, but anyhow, just learn it. So, in 90% of the cases, you may not go for this much level. But yes, if it is the 10% as critical projects, you may use this one. So, here, what do you mean by branching? Say, for example, you are preparing this framework manager model. Okay, you are uploading the tables, you are creating the joins, and you are publishing, say, and you are changing the usage property as you already aware of that. So there, if there are 100 tables, you are starting the each column, you need to change usage property, right? It may take so much time. So you want to share the work with your team members. So if this CPF file, this framework manager model is placed in the your Word my document or something shared drive, once I open, it will become read-only mode for you, like your MS Word document, same thing. So, but it shouldn't be like this. You need to give access to those people also. Parallelly, all the people has to work. Finally, you need to able to merge all the people work into your master model. That means you want to use your resources effectively. Otherwise, what will happen? Until I do something, nobody has the permission to open that model. That means it's a read-only mode for them. So until I complete it, nobody has to do work, means they are ideal at time. So it shouldn't be the case. So you have to give the proper usage of, you have to use the proper humans, right? Efforts. So now what I am doing is, for example, if I am the team lead, I can go ahead and branch to. So this is the Vanaja sample framework manager model. I will give the access to the Girija. I'm just giving the name. So I gave one branch to Girija, and next project one more branch to Amit. Like this, how many team members are there in your team? Whoever you want to work, give it, just branch it and just give the rename. What will happen now? If you are observing, see now, two new separate same type of CPF file is created. You see now, this is our model, one is a sample framework manager model, and this is our CPF file, this one. But two separate CPF files are created now. See, Amit 1 and Girija 1. The same CPF file, the same framework manager model copied. Amit and Girija. So two CPF models created. So now what they can do? So now you save the work, whatever you do. Now, maybe if, say for example, Girija is expecting to do some work, what she do? She will open the model file from her desktop or from her laptop. She will open the model. See, Girija model she will open, and she will create some tables, extra tables, whatever the things she want. For example, in the physical layer, I right click and create a, about model query subjects. Say Girija one table she want to create. That is columns from, like this she took, because she is trying to do something. She is creating some tables. But remember, whatever she is doing, all this work should be tracked, and then as a team lead I have to merge this work to my model. That is the ultimate goal. See, she created an extra table, and one more thing, she want to create one more table, Girija 2 or something. So Girija 1 and Girija 2 is created. Now she saved the work. Remember, she didn't touch our Vanaja sample framework manager original file. One more file is created for her, that is underscore Girija, something like that. So she did some work and saved it. Okay, close it. She has completed her work, and Amit will do his work. What he is doing, Amit CPF file only he will do. So he will open Amit CPF file. Remember, every CPF file is independent, so it will not show you a read-only mode for them, because it is created a new file. And Amit also, say for example, he has updated 2 tables. Create a query subject. So I'm just showing you, just creating the tables. Anything he can do, that will be tracked. See now, this is same. So Amit also did some work and he saved it. Finally, at the evening time, as a team lead, I am opening my model. One is a original model, that is sample framework manager model. So now in my model, these are the initial tables are there. Now whatever Girija did, I want to take that work to my project. So what I can do is go to the project, merge from. First thing is, you gave a branch to Girija, and whatever the work she did, I want to take back. So I want to merge from where? This is my model. I don't want to merge from here. From Girija. So Girija CPF file, and I can see whatever the work she did. See, she did Girija 1 table and Girija 2 tables. For example, if you want to upload only Girija 1 table, I don't want this work, then you can uncheck that box. Or if you want all the things, you can check box and click run. See now, whatever she did, it came here. See. Do you want to accept and revert? Revert means whatever the things he is added here, it will be deleted once again. But I want to accept. Then, so now I am able to merge the work from Girija. Now, one more thing. I want to merge the work from Amit also. So go ahead here. Amit project you just select, and Amit CPF file you open, and I can see what are the things he did. He created Amit 1. I don't want Amit 2 table, even though he created in his file. I don't want that. So I uncheck that one Amit 2 and I create a run. Now accept. See, Amit 1 only came, Amit 2 not. But if I want to get that also, it will show you now only Amit 2, because whatever the differences only it will show. Amit 1 you already taken, so he did, only pending changes is this. If you want this also, run it and accept. See now. So whatever the remaining people are doing, all the work you can track easily in the master project. Then save it. That's it. That means you are assigning some work to Girija, you are assigning to some work to Amit, and they did all the work whatever they want to do in their projects. Finally, you are able to merge all the people work at evening time. That means you are effectively utilizing the resources. This is called multi-user environment, multi-user, multi-development environment. So many people working on the same model, okay, at the same time, right? So here you can assign 10 people also. They can do in their own CPF file, but finally you are able to merge their work. So for that, what you need to do from master project, that means from existing project, you need to give the branches to the team members, and then they will do their own work in their each branch. Finally, you are able to merge their work, and then you can save that one. So you are able to track all the changes done by your team members. Any questions in the branching and merging? Very, very, very important for your interviews.
Yes,
Hari,
Hari.
can
Like
any
now you are
team
giving
member
me,
can
can
branch?
Yes, come again. Once again, I'm not able to get you.
Can any team member can branch to someone else?
No. So if any team member branch means from that CPF file only he can merge. He can branch from his CPF file, but from the master file I branch, so I only can do that.
Okay.
So once he branch, he will become the master. From there only he can branch. But main thing is not team members branching here. Only the main project you need to branch it, and main project you need to take that. So main project is called master project or parent project. All the branches is called children's. Parent can only match. Yeah. Any questions?
one more thing, like Hari, when you're giving name as like Girija and Amit, so only me can access that folder, or I can access the Amit as well?
It doesn't matter, Girija. Actually, maybe I just gave the CPF file name.
Okay.
Anybody having the access to that folder, anybody can access it. It just I gave the name for sake of without confusion purpose.
Okay, Hari.
Because I'm not providing any access to you or somebody here. There is no security. Just I give the name just for clarification.
And one more thing, like when the other child is also creating the same folder, then whether it is going to override or
When the same file is means I'm not getting it. Here, this is our model, main model. Okay, one is a sample, and Amit and Girija, two CP.
yeah, for example, like Amit and Girija are going to create a new table with same naming convention, and finally, I'm going to import both of their tables.
Right here.
So at the time, how if both the naming conventions are there, all the things will be imported, or
Right. So if you are doing anything in the framework manager, I mean, all the checkboxes will come. Whatever the things you want to upload. Say, for example, you rename it to one of the table. If you don't want that change, you can uncheck that box. If you are not unchecking, yes, it will go and override.
okay.
Yeah. So that means whatever the changes you did in the project, it will show you in the main project. It is your responsibility to take what changes you require. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. That is the branching and merging. 200% interview question. 200%. But it may not use in the real time because that much criticality of the CPF files is not needed in the real time. One person can do easily in the framework manager because you will have more time. It is not one day you have to complete like this. Framework manager you will have more time, and also it is daily update, means maybe monthly updating or something. Any files is needed or something like that. It is not one day you need to complete the framework manager. It's not the case actually in the real time. So you don't need to assign n number of people. Okay, but yes, as a theoretical wise or conceptual wise, branching and merging concept is very popular for your interviews. It's a 100% interview question. Right. Next one, this is the branching and merging. And before to that, linking and segmenting will go. I will explain you all these things after. What do you mean by linking and segmenting? Entirely reverse concept this is. Entirely reverse concept. Now what you are doing, you are not working as a team leader, you are not working. You have some model, you gave the work to the Girija and you gave the work to Amit. They are doing the work and you are able to merge the work. Now you take the reverse concept. You are having the model and the same tables only needed for some other people, some other project people. So you want to give the access to the physical layer or something to the next people. In future, if you are adding some tables, they will able to upload those tables into their model. That means here team leader is doing work, team member access. Remember here I'm just using the word team leader or team member. It's not like that. Anything one project people to another project people say. Okay. So how to do the segment? So if you are doing the branching, what is happening? Entire model is a copy is created. Now my thing is I will you go to the physical layer, project, create a segment like branch to create a segment. So only physical layer will be access to that person. So I'm giving the access to Jaman, okay? Click OK. Done. So I gave the access to the Jaman. Now if you are observing this model, if you are observing one of the sample framework manager, you see inside the folder itself, it created one more folder, physical layer Jaman. One CPF file is created inside the folder itself, not like branching different folder. Inside the folder of one of the sample, one more folder created, that is the segment. Fine. You save it first. Now maybe Jaman will open that model. You see now he is able to see the entire physical layer, whatever you created. Remember, you didn't share business layer, presentation layer. So Jaman needed only the physical layer. So you already shared with him. So he is able to get. And he can create his own business layer, his own presentation layer, and then he can publish his work. Say for example, in future, if you are adding one more table to the physical layer, the Jaman has to get that layer, that table. So at that time, he can link to the segment. Okay, how to do that one? What is the purpose of this one? Say for example, if you are creating a project, you have uploaded 100 tables, and all the 100 tables you changed the usage property, everything, you did the modeling. So second, one more project people also, they want to the same tables only for their project, but you already completed the usage property work and all those things. So they can use at least your model. So instead of taking your presentation layer, business layer, he want only the physical layer, whatever you uploaded and usage property and joins. After that, he can create his own business layer, his own presentation layer. So at that type of situation, so now save it, this one, physical layer, you open and see everything is there, whatever you shared with him. Okay, I'm coming back to the original model. Say for example, if Vanaja is adding some tables to his physical layer, she is going to add one more table, okay, test table. She created one table shape. Now one more extra table is created and then saved. So now Jaman has to get that table automatically. So click OK. So I am opening. So Jaman is opening his model, and he will see there is no the test table. So he want to get the test table, whatever Vanaja did. So he gave the link, he gave the segment, right? You can link to the segment. So how to do that? Project, link segment. To whom you need to link? Vanaja sample framework manager. Select that package. And so this physical layer already want, we just send it. Click OK. See, physical layer, Jaman. I am able to get test also here. That means whatever Vanaja is doing in extra things, because she already gave a link to me, I can link to that segment, and then I am able to get the work. But here I can do my own physical presentation layer, I can do my own business layer, no issues. So anybody, one of you can explain what is the basic differences between branching and merging and linking and segmenting? Why you need any scenario for that? Yes, any one of you. Yes, please, any one of you.
Branching and merging are used to give to use your resources to divide your work. So when you are branching and merging, you just giving the whole copy of a CPF file. On the other hand, when you are creating a segment, you are just giving a part of that CPF file, like either physical layer or mostly physical layer, right?
Yes.
And when you link that segment to that CPF file, whatever you do the changes in your report on your part, it will automatically link to the other segment.
So they can easily link your segment. Okay. So it's a reverse concept. First one is you are dividing the work to your team members. Your team members are doing some work in each model. You are able to merge into main project. But here in the linking and segmenting, you are doing some work and they are expecting to share your work. So they are linking your segment. So both are different. So very important for interviews, the basic differences between branching and merging, linking and segmenting. These are all multi-developer environment purpose. everybody has multiple users can work on the model at the same time. For that purpose only, you need the branching and merging, linking and segmenting concepts. Is it clear? Yes, is it clear? So that is the branching and merging and linking and segmenting. Now I will go for the session parameters. What do you mean by session parameters? Any guess? By name itself, you can easily track. What do you mean by session parameters? No question? No answer? What do you mean by session?
It gives the credential of user and when this file was open.
Yeah, actually, it's a credentials of, say, when, for example, if Vanaja logged into the framework manager, it will track who are you. So Vanaja account dot default name is a parameter. It will show you who logged in, the name of the person who logged in. So here my name is admin person, and it will show you the name, phone number. It will show you the email address of Vanaja if she logged in. If I logged in, it will show my details. If she logged in, it will show our details. If Jaman is logged in, Jaman details there. So that means it will fetch the data from Cognos administration. So you will see the Cognos administration in the later classes. Say before, whenever I am creating a user, I will give all the information. So is her name and a phone number, mobile number, personal information, surname, username, timestamp of our country, and what is the mission name, and what is the run local, that is language, English or French, all those things. All these information I will put in the administration when I am creating her as a user. That information will be fetched here. That information will be fetched. So whenever you are creating a user, it is your responsibility to create all this information in the administration. That means normally Active Directory people will create those information. That information, it will be tracked here. So by using this, what you can do, you will come to know in the later stages. Means object level security time, you will come to know that. Because say for example, whenever Vanaja logged in, then only it has to show all the country details. At the type of situations, at the type of security creation, I need the session parameter, because Cognos should know who are you. Based on that only it can give the access. So for that purpose, to find or to track your information, it needs the session parameters. If I'm using anywhere account.default name, the person who logged into the system, it will easily come to know to the Cognos backend. Okay, so that's the reason why these parameters very useful. Session parameters, you remember some of them: account dot default name, or account dot business personal information email, personal information business given member, given name, surname, all those things. You just name, just this run local mainly we will use in the real time object level security. Run local means which language he belongs to. Okay, and account default name means his name and his surname, his personal information, given name, all those things are needed especially. Any questions here? Any questions? So those are the session parameters, but when we will use, I will show you in the object level security. Okay, log on as log off. Why do you need log on? Anybody? Why I need to log on? Because I am already logged in with admin. Why I need to log on with some other name? Any guess? I already logged in. Why I need to log in with some other name?
Maybe some options are not available for non-administrative person.
Excellent. Say for example, if I am opening this model, okay, but I don't have the access to some of the tables to download. from the or upload from the database. It will not appear for me when you are uploading the data. But my team lead having the access, and he is having the access to download this. So if I'm not able to download, but if I'm trying to use my manager credential, and I can download it. So for that project, you log on as, even though you don't have the access, and give your manager credentials, then you can download these tables. That means log on with some other name will be helpful for you whenever you need to log on with some other username. Means when it comes actually the situation, if you don't have the access and your manager having the access, you can ask him to log in your machine and then download it. After that, log off. Then you can log on with some your name, then already it is downloaded, so you can work on that. Is it clear? If you don't have the access to the some of the tables, it is better to use the credentials. But it is not good thing project you log on as, and then here you need to give your manager credentials. But it is not the case, right? Every time he will not give it. So it is better to ask him to go ahead, boss, please download those 2 files and then give it to me. Something like that. So he can open the framework manager model in his machine, and then he can go with his login, and then he can download it. But here, why you are using the logon as, instead of logging with his in his machine, you can log on his credential here itself and then download it and then log off. So this is the log on and log off. If you want to log on with some other account and then download something which are not having access to those tables, you don't have the access, but your manager having the access. So at that time, it is better option. Right? These are the session parameters. And what do you mean by U transaction history, run script, synchronize? Everything is important. Runs U transaction history means it will show you from first day to today what are the changes you did to the model. See, 14th day this I did, and 15th day I did, 20th, sorry, 17th, 20th, 21, 23, all those things I did somewhere. So everything is tracked. So for example, I want to save 14th day work, save as a script, and desktop 14th. Now, for example, if I want to have 21, 20, 20, 17, 14, save as a script. Something like this. So I want everything as a script and then save as a script, whatever you are doing to me. So what will happen now? Tell me, why do you need this script? For example, at 14th day you did some work and you saved the CPF file also. And 17th day you did the work. You save as a script one, and also you save the entire CPF model. 2 things you need to do whenever you are changing the data. You save that as a script and also CPF file. So you did the 17th day CPF file and 17th day CPF. 20th day when you are trying, 17th day CPF file is not working. It corrupted. 17th day the CPF file is not able to open. It corrupted. So what I can do? What I can do is open the 14th day CPF file, open the 14th day CPF file, and run the 17th day script, whatever you backup. Then it will do whatever the things you did in the 17th day. So how can you do? I saved everything script, right? Now go ahead project and run script. So where it is there in the desktop, 14th day or 20th day. So 20th day means whatever the changes I did, all the things it is open. So it is created a physical layer and all those things I created that day. Hurry. And if I did, what are the things I did in the 14th day? desktop, 14th XML, sorry, all backup if you take 15th, 16th, 17th, whatever the changes you did, everything is there. So if you don't want some of the things, you can unlock, uncheck this one. But if you want, yes, you run script. So it will do once again all the things whatever you did. See, it is executing. Maybe some of the things is not executing because, but normally it will execute if everything is fine. Why it is not showing means maybe that time you didn't save that script. Maybe these things I didn't save that day, that is the reason why. Otherwise, it will check everything. You don't need to skip also, it will done very fast pick. And everything is done, then you can accept that one simply. That means all the things you came. That means whatever the changes, now I am reverting. I don't want to save anything. So that means whatever the changes are done in the 15th day, 16th day, it will be done. So what you need to do every day whenever you are doing work, you save the CPF file save as .cpf file, and also go add here project and view transaction history that day. So for example, 20th, 23 we are doing something. So you just go like this and save as a script. So tomorrow if anything is happened, this CPF file and then you open this script, it will work because CPF file may be corrupted, but the script is like a notepad, it will never corrupt. So you can open the previous day CPF file and then you run today's script, then it will be taking all the work whatever you do. Otherwise you need to do manually, right? Everything whatever do yesterday if it is corrupted. So that is the reason why if you save the work whatever you did as a script, you open yesterday's and then you can run it. Is it clear that one? Why you are using the script? But remember all these things is not required because we are having the 2-3 copies of the CPF file. It will never corrupt. But anyhow, it is the things is available for you. Any questions here? Any questions? Any questions in the transaction history and run script? No questions?
No.
Yes, no questions. Yes, Jaman, are you able to understand?
No questions.
Yes, Jaman, are you able to understand? Girija and Vanaja?
Sorry, but a little tricky.
Tricky. It's nothing actually. There is no need to confuse actually here. See, whenever you are doing some work, right, what you will do for backup purpose only this transaction, what you will do, you will save as or save with the CPF file, right? Sometimes the CPF file may corrupt, sometimes it may not open. So that time it will be gone, am I right? So again I need to do from scratch. So that's the reason why whenever you are doing the work, you are doing every time save as a one more copy, you take the backup, and also you go on here, view transaction history, that day transactions everything you copy as a script, whatever you do in the 23. So just select it and save as script. Why you are taking the script also into notepad? Because that day backup file also if it is not able to open, then the problem will start. So that's the reason why every day if you are taking the CPF file, so what I am taking, two things I need to take every time if I am changing the .cpf file. That means it's like a file, save as, and then also script of that day whatever you did. So for example 23, so 21 you did .cpf file you are having, and the script also there. 22 you are having .cpf file you took, and script also there. 23 today when I'm trying to start this cpf file whatever you saved 22, I'm not able to open, it is corrupted. So 22 cpf file is corrupted. So what I can do, if it is corrupted means what I can do, but 21 cpf file is opening, it is not corrupted. So 22 script is failed, it is not opening, somehow the cpf file is corrupted. Now I want to get the data of 22 also, whatever I did it. So how can you get it? Yes, say for example if you are doing any MS Word document, first day you did some work, second day you did some work, and third day if I'm trying to second day work, it's gone. So where you can start? Okay, at least 22 cpf file is not working, so what I can do, I can take the 21 cpf file. Am I right? Am I right or wrong?
Yes.
So what I can do, I took the 21 cpf file, and then whatever the things I did in 22, what is that? It is tracked here in the script. So I open the 21 cpf file and I run the script, then it will become 22 cpf file. Am I right? Because 21 cpf file I am taking and running the 22, whatever I did, it is tracked or it is saved as a script. So this script will be open, right, anytime. So I took the 21 cpf file, I ran the 22 script on that, so it will become 22 cpf file. So that is the reason why every time you take cpf file and script, because sometimes cpf file may be corrupted, that time the script will be useful. You open the previous day cpf file and you run the that day script, then it will become automatically that day cpf file. Are you clear?
Yes, Hari.
Right. So that's the reason why you yeah.
What happens if we have means we open a 21 CPF file and run the script of 21 only? Will it show
21 cpf file
blank?
means already the whatever the things you did in the script, it is already there. If you are running also, nothing will happen, same thing only will be. 21 cpf file means it is already having all the transaction history right here, all the work is already present, so why you need to run the same script once again? Are you getting my point?
Yeah.
So if I'm running the 22 cpf file is not opening, so 22 day you added two more tables, so in this script the two things is tracked. So you open the 21 cpf file and you run this script, so then it will become automatically 22. Remember, it is never happens the cpf file is corrupted. Your fate is not good, that time it may corrupt. So that time it is better to have always the backups, cpf file backup as well as that day whatever you do transaction history backup. So every time you change some work, you go like this and you go to the that day data after your changes. So you select like this and you save as a script and write the date also. That is the script backup. And if your CPF backup is file save as, you take another name and then save the day name. So then the CPF file also there. If any issues are there from these two things, you can easily track. Yeah, any questions?
Where can we see the scripts, Hari?
Come again?
Where can we see the scripts?
That is, it is XML copy. If you are running the script means, this is XML copy only. So I saved the script right into the desktop. I saved. So see, it is XML copy. It's a notepad. Script is nothing but it's XML copy. It is not understandable format for you. But yes, see, whatever the country name, what is the location name, all those things it is taking as a backup. All the tables, whatever you uploaded, will be tracked as a see governor settings you did, parameters you did, and governor settings we changed,
So
right?
these
All those
keeps
things.
on saved on our desktop only.
You can say wherever you want. Say, for example, project uh, view transaction history, right? If I'm trying to change, save 23, save as escape, you select wherever you want, my documents or my recent documents. You create one folder for that. You save anyway. So in my document, if you want to save, you create a new folder, script backup. That is save as option only. Wherever you want. How do you will save the Word document? The same thing. You like this. So 2022 data. So if you go there in the Word document, my documents, see this. Just the save as only.
Okay, Hari.
Yeah. Right. That is what actually. So tomorrow we will go for the synchronize option. Synchronize option is very important once again for interviews. But I will explain you what it will do now. So it is better to do CPF file backup, transaction history backup as a script. Always maintain the standards. You will never face any issues. Some people they will not take the backup. Suddenly it will corrupt after it is going to the production, right? Then if it is corrupted means it is 100%. It is high level escalations. So it is always better to keep track of all changes, whatever you are doing as a backups. At least last 3 backups. Okay, then yes, Vanaja, I think you are having some issue, right? I will conclude it. So okay.